Go.
Hi, I'm Macy. This is Berkeley, Sophia, Abdul, and Alexander, and we're Neighborhood Tutor. 32% of all high school students receive academic help in the form of tutoring. This is 935 students solely at Barrington High School. Think of how many people we could be helping across the state and eventually across the nation. Me, along with my teammates, are all juniors here at Barrington, which means the most stressful year of our high school career. Along with keeping up with AP and honors classes, we are under the pressure of trying to get into a good college. This started taking a toll on my grades, which not only upset me, but infuriated my parents. They had the great idea that I should get a tutor. In my opinion, this was great. I could get the academic help I needed within a couple days. Turns out it's not as easy as I thought. When I looked on Google for tutors, all that came up was ACT and SAT prep, which is obviously not what I needed. I eventually went to my counselor for help, but she only gave me a list of teachers who tutor part-time. This was also not beneficial because I'd had those teachers, and I understood that their teaching style did not match my learning style. Man, I wish I had Neighborhood Tutor. Neighborhood Tutor is an app that connects students with tutors based on specific wants and needs. When you go into our app, you'll see a results page.
That first one's a
With
dicey
the
guy.
subject you choose. Next to the tutor's profile, you'll see an hourly rate along with the distance of their location, reviews, and along with an option to visit their profile. Once you click on Visit Profile, you'll be brought to a page that looks like this. Here you'll see a location and price along with an education and specific reviews from real customers the tutor has had in the past. At the bottom, you'll be able to easily chat with your tutor to book a session within a couple days.
Alright, so as a student-tutor matching service, we have two primary customer segments, one being tutors and one being parents along with students. So our target market for students would be high school students in the Chicagoland area from middle to upper class families who regularly receive tutoring along with their parents. As for tutors, it would be freelance tutors in the United States who are looking to increase their client base. Now our indirect competitors are in-person tutoring firms such as Lord George, Huntington, Kumon, and Magnesium. We differ from this approach of tutoring as we are a student-tutor matching service that offers tutoring lessons online, while these are in-person tutoring firms. Our direct competitors would be Wisent, Varsity Tutors, and Tutors.com. These are all online platforms that allow students to log on and find tutors. However, we take the initiative of finding the tutor for the student based on their input, so we save them countless hours of scrolling through an array of tutors and filters. Now, we would market this through students at Barrington High School through QR code flyers, which is linked to our website. And for parents, we would advertise to parents through Facebook ads and Facebook groups. We would spend a total of $550 on Facebook ads over the next 3 months at $11 per day. This, according to Facebook's ad tracker, this is expected to reach 50,000 people and have a 0.9% click-through rate and 9.5% conversion rate. Now, we would provide this through a direct channel on our website, which is hosted on the Wix platform. This offers low operating expenses as well as low maintenance. Now, it's important to note that in our MVP process, we will be testing two different customers. One as tutors being the customers, and the other as students and parents being the customers. Now, considering that students are the customers, we would have a total addressable market of $4.5 billion. This is how much parents spent on tutors for their children in 2022. Now, to get our serviceable addressable market, we took the 100,000 out of 300,000 students, high school students in the Chicagoland area who regularly receive tutoring. If we were to charge each one of these students $7.50 and they were to receive tutoring 5 times a year, that would give us a serviceable addressable market of $3.7 million. Now, if we were to consider tutors as our customers, this would give us a total addressable market of $23 billion. That is how much the whole tutoring industry is worth as a whole in the United States. Now, if we were to take 358,000 tutors and charge them $6.39 to be listed on our website, and they were to subscribe for 6 months a year, this would give us a serviceable addressable market of $13.7 million.
So you may be wondering how Abdul got some of these numbers. So we have two different methods of how we would charge our service. With our first method, the tutors would be our customers because we are advertising them on our platform and matching them with students. So we'll be reaching 4,250 tutors based on Facebook advertisements, and 3.8% of those tutors will end up listed on our platform since that is a common conversion rate of social media advertisements. This gives us 163 customers within our first year, and they'll be purchasing 6 months of subscription from us when we evaluated when throughout our first year they will join our platform. So speaking of subscriptions, we have 3 different tiers you can purchase from us. Our first one, Pro, is $4.99 a month. Our second one, Advanced, is $9.99 a month. And our third one, Beyond, is $19.99 a month. These all have their own perks, but the greater tier you purchase, the more perks you will receive. So when we interviewed tutors, we took into account which tier they would purchase and got an average unit price of $6.39. This gives us a market revenue of $6,250, which is a 0.05% market share percentage. So we will have to cover a 2.5% credit card transaction fee, which when we apply this to our average unit price of $6.39, it gives us 15 cents in cost of goods sold, which is still a high 97.5% gross margin. This takes us from our revenue of $6,263 to our gross profit of roughly $6,000. So with our second method, the students and parents will be our customers, and they will directly pay the tutors, but we will charge them an additional 15% commission. So we will be targeting 2,872 students, which is the student population here at Barrington High School. Again, 3.8% of those students will use our service, since that's a common conversion rate of flyers and social media advertisements. This gives us 109 students in our first year, and they will be using 5 sessions through our platform, since when we interviewed students, we found that on average they struggled with school 5 times during 1 year. So like I said, we'll be taking an additional 15% commission from them, since we are the ones matching them with a tutor and finding their tutor based on their needs. When a lot of tutors like to charge $50 an hour for their service. So that means the commission for this would be $7.50, which is our average unit price. This gives us a market revenue of roughly $4,000, which is a market share of 0.11%. Again, we have to cover the 2.5% credit card conversion fee, which when we apply this to our average unit price of $7.50, it gives us 19 cents in cost of goods sold. And again, it's a high gross margin of 97.5%. This takes us from our revenue of about $4,000 to our gross profit of $3,947.
All right, so we feel that our biggest problem with our business model is our customer segments, as we're unsure of who our best paying customer is, be it the parents and the students or the tutors. So in order to test this, we'll be running a concierge style MVP alongside our landing page, where instead of our site automatically matching tutors with fitting students or vice versa, we'll be looking through students' surveys and then going out and finding them tutors that we think suit their needs. Now this testing will run from now in February for about 3 months until early May, and during that time we'll be testing out 2 different models, where in the first model we will have the student as our paying customer, and they will fill out a form, pay us, and then we will go out and find a tutor that would suit their needs well. Now in our second model, on the other hand, the tutor would be our paying customer, and it would subscribe to our service to be listed on our website, from which students could visit if they wanted to find a tutor and find one that they personally think would suit their needs well. Now, in order for this to happen, we'll be using the marketing strategies previously mentioned by Abdul, and from there, our potential customers and users will reach our landing page and website, where they'll find a survey asking them for a number of different pieces of information, such as in the case of student, we want to know how much money they're willing to pay for their tutor, as well as, very importantly, what subject they want to be tutored in. Now, this also allows us to collect a running list of emails of our potential customers and users, which allows us to just push out emails reminding them that we exist and to use our company and our service. So our goal for this testing period over this time is to match over 50 students and tutors, which equates to roughly 4 a week.
So since we are connecting our tutors and students ourselves, our initial cost is our website fee, and this will be $22 per month. And this will allow our customers to make general and recurring payments throughout our website. And this will be $66 for 3 months. Next, along with that, we will have our custom domain, which is $12 a year. And then we also will be collecting emails and sending out surveys through MailChimp, which will be $20 a month with the first month free for $40 for 3 months. And we will also be printing out 200 flyers at our local library for $50. And lastly, we'll be sending out 50 days of Facebook ads for $550. and this comes out to a total of $750. Neighborhood tutor, the start to success.
Thank you.
So when you set out, you're going to run these two tests at the same time, do you have matching criteria that's identical? Like how does a tutor match with a pool of prospective students and vice versa? Like what are your criteria in terms of a good match?
Right now, it's just gonna be us matching, so we'll have surveys the students will fill out about like subjects they want, price range, location, and like type of tutors. And so we'll match them like just ourselves based on what we think would be the best fit for both of them.
So in
Similar
our,
survey for the tutors as well?
Yes, very
Yes.
similar.
so in that survey, we'll be asking for more things like what kind of learning style a tutor can teach best to, and what kind of learning style a student would think they learn best with.
And what's kind of difficult, like, that's why we're asking for a commission, because it's difficult to find a tutor, and a lot of tutors we do find it comes with a description of like what they teach, how they teach. So we will go through all of those and pick something that we think fits best with the student that needs a tutor.
And all of this is online tutoring?
Yes, we're doing that for now because with in-person tutoring, we're gonna have to start conducting background searches. So we thought we'd rather just start with more of Zoom, just to see how it runs.
I love the idea of just like, at first, you're gonna be a matchmaking, so you're gonna figure that out, all the weird marketplace stuff is good, so doing that.
Yeah.
What services do you provide other than the introduction? Once the introduction is made and they found each other, are there any services that you will continue to provide?
From there, it's just the students and the tutors communicating, and then eventually with our subscription, we're thinking if they want to list more like qualities or credentials about themselves, they could pay for a higher subscription, and then if they're with our app for a certain amount of time, they could get a discount on the subscription, just to keep them like consistent and staying with our app.
Just two quick comments. One is that the pricing model slide that you put up for the different packages was very confusing. I think you want to streamline that at first, just come up with something that makes sense. And the second thing is think about what you can provide so you don't get immediately disintermediated. Like, it's like you make the introduction and then you never see commission again because they've established the relationship. So try to think a little bit more about how you can stay involved in that relationship.
Or alternatively, think about whether the way that you're pricing your value proposition is the right way. You might want to, be like a lead generation service where, the tutor is paying you some really big percentage of the first connection, and then from then on it's their relationship, so that they don't like get the relationship and then cut you off right away. What Eric was getting at.
Yeah, that's been a big concern of us through this whole learning process. So we've definitely come up with some ideas, one being the monthly subscription. And at first we decided like they have to subscribe for 12 months, so they will be paying us, they can't just pay for 1 month and leave. We're definitely still like thinking of more ideas of how we could slightly prevent that from happening, but we know we can't totally prevent that. But yeah.
Could you embrace it though, maybe?
Yeah.
Maybe you could be like a
Yeah.
recruiter,
Yeah.
right, and have a different kind of model than try to
Yeah,
stay there forever.
Mm-hmm.
for sure.
It would kind of pivot your business model a bit, but, so, talk a little bit about the competition, tutor.com and the others. Are those also, do they have online tutoring options, or are they primarily, what's the differentiator exactly in the product?
Yeah, so they're all like websites where you could go and you could scroll through tutors, and then you find the tutor, and then you connect online within their website. It's not like a Zoom link or anything, it's like their own website. So we were saying we would find the tutor for the student, like based on the student's learning style, and we would save the student the time of trying to scroll through and find the tutor.
Yeah,
Okay.
we met with a woman who runs her own tutoring business, mostly for SAT and ACT, and she found her tutors off of tutor.com and like some of those websites. But with some of these, you have to like fully hire them and pay them regularly, and so that's not exactly what we're looking for at the moment, so we're more of just a match.
I think it might be helpful to have a conversation with the team that does Community Butler, because in essence, it's a similar business model where you need workers as well as those who need the work. You need tutors as well as those who need the tutoring. And so I think, given that they've been in this program for so many years now, I think they've figured out a few things. So perhaps you could ride on what they've learned and not quite have to make those same mistakes all over again.
For sure, yeah.
And there is something else going on at the federal education level where there is quite a bit of funding that's going to school districts to try to bridge the gap with learning loss. And that will be happening for quite a few years because it was such a trough of learning that fell off. So you may want to explore, is your customer segment strictly parents of students who need help, or are school districts potential customer, because they've got their hands full running school, and the whole tutoring market is yet another one that they're not really staffed to do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you, we'll look into that.
Have you interviewed tutors to kind of make sure that kind of what you're proposing is something that they are going to find value in?
Yeah, we have. Most of them, with the $6.39, I believe it was, average cost per subscription, most of them said they would pay between $5 and $10 a month to be listed on the site, as long as they keep having consistent clients.
And just kind of following from Mr. Lentz said, other services, sometimes, like to say from my own experience, middle school kids, sometimes they have challenges with executive functioning issues, with organizing themselves, creating checklists, things like that. Sort of as there may be alternative services also, aside from just academic, that a tutor can assist a person with.
Yeah.
You mentioned that, well, may I ask a question? How do you find out if you're in high school which of the teachers will do part-time tutoring?
This is what I was kind of going over in the beginning. Our counselors have like a list of tutors, of teachers who also tutor on the side, so they can kind of like help us out with that list.
What if you approach those teachers about, listing on your site and just have it be kind of like controlled, like for purposes of the MVP, making it easy for Barrington High School students to, like, they don't have to go to the guidance counselor or whatever, get them.
Yeah, some of the tutors we actually did interview were teachers, I want to say like mostly middle school teachers that like we knew, that we know they tutored. And actually, I think all of them said they would be on the site, so.
That could give you a jump start
Yeah.
on that side of your business model, where here's the talent, and you readily, just by taking all the guidance counselor names and phone numbers from them, or contact info, and that could easily give you a couple dozen right away, and so you can start generating those who need some help.
Yeah, I don't know if the Facebook ads are going to get you what you want. I think you need to show that, I think there's a need here for tutors. You are providing those tutors and providing the venue for people to go and do it. But that's, you really to show that there's interest there.
Yeah.
So what
All right,
would
the
you-
ask was $750, you guys,
I love how you were gonna spend it, except the Facebook ad seemed a little disproportionate, so I would support cutting that a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, very understandable.
Or is it something that you can stagger and have on demand?
What would you cut it to?
750 is the ask?
550 is a Facebook.
I would cut it down to 2, so I would say more like 550 or 500.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's go with that.
what is it?
Let's call it 550.
550,
550, and you're cutting the ads, right?
Facebook ads.
Yes.
Okay. All right, perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Okay.